graduate from USC, turn pro, do you have like, your goals set on playing the PGA Tour? Like what was your game plan when you finished school?
Didn't have a game plan. And that also was an underlying theme that kind of helped me get to the PGA Tour, I think, because I didn't have that ultimate goal. I was going to stay in the journey, I was going to stay in the process, and wherever it led me, I was going to go. And so I remember finishing school, and Randy and I sat down, and he goes, Europe might be a really good place. Why don't you sign up for the European Tour School? We'll raise a little bit of money through our boosters, and you'll see if we can do that, because that'll be another platform for you to really develop. Consider you have to travel, you have to learn how to do that, go to different places unfamiliar to you, learn different languages, meet new people.
Yeah.
I went over there, finished second at the first stage, went to Spain. I think at the final stage missed it by 2. So here I go. I come back. Now what do you do? Like all mini tour players do, is like, because they come to me too. What do I do? What should I explore?
Yep.
Where should I play? John Flannery, a former All-American too at USC, had just finished up a La Quinta hotel. He calls me and says, you know what? This might be a good place. I know you missed it at the European Tour School. Come down here. The head pro will hire you. It's a great tipping kind of opportunity. You'll park cars and clean clubs as they come off the golf course.
Have a place to play and
have a place to play.
Home base kind of thing.
Yeah, home base. And it felt great. I'll never forget those 6 months at La Quinta Hotel. I had a blast. I'd work, play and practice either before my shift or after my shift, and then started on the Golden State Tour in the summertime after I worked there. But I do appreciate these things that fell into place for me naturally. Because they did help support me improving in golf. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it at the time, but I remember it well.
So you're in Palm Springs, you're playing the Golden State Tour. Are you just like getting in your car and going to different events and
having a blast,
competing anywhere you can?
Yeah, I hear people complain, and that was some of the greatest moments or memories of my young life.
Yeah,
is being able to everything was in my car. Everything I owned was in my car. I didn't have a whole lot of money. I had just enough to go play for it, and that was basically the purse. Mini tours are just basically developed through the purse. You put in $400, we get 70 players, and we play for the purse.
Yep.
And I won my first Golden State Tour event that I ever played in. $7,000. I thought
$7,000? Oh, that's a pretty good payday.
That was huge payday.
Especially back then.
Yeah, especially when you have no money.
First
tournament.
Professional event.
It was like a 2-day event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun.
That's legit.
Yeah, it was legit. Yeah.
So how many years were you playing the Golden State Tour before you made it on the Ben Hogan Tour?
About that time, the birth of the Ben Hogan Tour, which is now the Korn Ferry, was right around that time, actually, when I first graduated from college. I didn't know much about the Ben Hogan Tour. I was focused on what I needed to be focused on, which was mini tour golf. So I played the Golden State Tour for about 2.5 years. I went through my first U.S. PGA Tour qualifier probably the second season.
So that's like back when you could actually make it like all the way to the PGA Tour.
You can make it clear. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So, and if you didn't make it, like let's say you made it to like final stage or something, and then you'd get Ben Hogan Tour status, or how did that work?
Yeah, so a fraction. I think back then there was like 20 or 25 cards. I can't remember. There's so many things that have changed in that. But, at the final stage, back then there'd be 180 players for like 20, 25 spots. And then the Ben Hogan Tour started to allow like the top 5 money leaders got their tour cards.
Okay, yeah. So talk about your time on the Ben Hogan Tour. So again, were you just getting in your car, traveling around the country, and ultimately that led you to the PGA Tour? Yeah,
the Ben Hogan Tour was incredible. The first year I failed miserably. I was a great mini tour player, so I didn't really need support. Mm-hmm. 3/4 of the way through my first season on the Ben Hogan Tour, I needed some money. I came back home, got some of my dad's friends together. They got me through the rest of the season, and then at that point I knew I needed something sophisticated and on paper, and that I had the resource to continue what I wanted to do, which was continue playing professional golf. So the second year on the Ben Hogan Tour is when I flourished.
Yeah.
And I won 3 times, and I got my PGA Tour card.
Yeah.
That was 1992.
That's awesome.
Yeah.